AI will not save you. It can help you, but it will not save you. Just wanted to get on here and express a tiny bit of frustration over all of the AI that's being used in the world now. And it's not frustration based on the AI itself being used. Like, I love AI. I think it's really cool, and I think it's excellent. And normally, oftentimes it does an incredible job of making things look really cool and clean and polished. But you should know that if you're using AI to write for you, everyone knows that you're doing that. I mean, at this point, everyone knows that you're doing that. And if you're using AI to generate your posters and stuff, this is like the equivalent of if you're a magician anyway, if you're an entertainer and you're making like a poster or something. This is the equivalent of cosplay. This is the equivalent of cosplay at this point, because as the gates get swung farther and farther open for more and more people to have really great looking posters. Right now we can tell, but there'll be a time where we can't tell coming up here. Maybe, I don't know. It's moving really fast, right? The ability to make yourself look like a competent entertainer on the marketing side used to be way more challenging than it currently is, right? And so there were just like a few people who were able to do that. Like, you'd look at their stuff and you'd say, oh my God, that looks really good, right? And that it looks so good that person must be trustworthy as a performer. It must be a good idea to hire that person. And that's always been kind of the idea, right? Is that you put the struggle in to get a really good press kit or something like that. And there was this like really short, I mean, if you're right at the edge of the technology, then I'm sure that you can still do that, and it won't just look like everyone else's. And when I say look like everyone else's, I don't mean look like every other magician's or whatever. I just mean look like everything else that people are experiencing with AI. When they're on their feed, they're seeing that everything is AI. They're seeing that everything has just got that little veil of softer skin, and the text just reads pretty a little too clean, and this is not a show, M dash, it's a phenomenon or something like that. Like, it's just kind of obvious. And the problem isn't that it's obvious. The problem isn't that it's AI. The problem is that now people are starting to get the sense that that anyone can just type into Claude or type into ChatGPT, build me a press kit, or, make me look competent in X, Y, or Z field. And I know a lot of people now who are relying almost entirely upon AI to make themselves look competent. And that's not proof of competency. And ultimately what you're doing at the end of the day is you're tricking and this was kind of true with people who created press kits, who worked really hard to create press kits in the past, who couldn't just like type a prompt into Claude and make a press kit. But ultimately at the end of the day, in a sense, especially if your marketing does not match your performance or your performance persona, you are in a sense tricking your audience or your clients into thinking that you are good enough to be hired. And this is a problem. This is a problem, and people are starting to catch on to it. They're starting to catch on to the idea that that somebody can just type a couple of words into an AI system and have the appearance of competency be spat out, right? And so this no longer becomes proof of competency in the way that it used to be proof. And so now this is kind of a good thing for the performers who were really good performers but who don't know quite how to market themselves. Not because you will now be able to market yourself using AI and using things that appear to be fake because everyone's now doing it, but because now there will be, and this is a prediction that I'm making, so don't take this too serious, I'm not a marketing guy, But my intuition is that real proof of competency, in other words, the real phone calls and the real meetings and the real relationships, are now going to be worth way more than a good press kit. Proof of competency and relationships, because of AI swinging the gates open on people being able to produce great looking press kits, and bless those press kits, they look really great. But proof of competency is now going to be the real currency in the performance world, I think, or it's going to be at least a very important one. It's going to be more important now than ever, because it's going to be, because of people's awareness of AI, it's going to be harder to trick them into thinking that you're any good. All right. I don't know if this is a positive or a negative message, but it's just kind of the way I'm seeing it right now, and I hope that is some good food for thought. All right. Bye.